don't know what the fuck you talking about when you understand what the fuck he's saying.
Well, how you gonna tell me I don't know what the hold on.
No, bro. Years, you don't know what the fuck you talking about when you understand what the fuck he's saying.
Well, how you gonna tell me I don't know what the hold on.
No, bro. You ain't got no battle scars. You ain't got nothing to prove you like what you talking about, nigga. So I got two motherfucking boxer fractures and the 8th bone in my motherfucking wrist broke, bitch ass nigga. You ain't got no battle scars about nothing, nigga. You just talking, nigga.
Not to mention you had to stop people getting
Ears, hold on.
So you didn't get patted down like a stripper?
No, nigga. So, I did not say anything wrong. My mentality changed at a certain point.
Wrong because you a dummy, nigga.
I'm not saying what you did or
Talking about shit in a locker room, nigga. You judge the man based on rules in a locker room. Jerry Stackhouse got $49 million of them. I'm under a rookie deal. You think that means somebody a punk because they can't beat the motherfucker up? They got the most money, you dummy.
Will, did I say
you have been protected by them white boys so much, you don't understand nigga real life. You've been protected by them white boys, nigga. You ain't got no protection of white boy right now, though.
Will, did I say it? I said when my mentality changed, right?
I get what you're saying.
Okay. So when my
definitely, if you're trying to explain to try to get you to understand, I definitely get what you're saying.
That's what I said. There's a situation that happened when
Yeah, you can't get what he's saying.
I get what he's saying, and I can do both. I get what he's saying.
Don't make any sense.
What I'm saying, I can do
What
both.
he's saying don't make no sense. You can't get trying to get out because it never was no.
I feel like
it was never no my team. The nigga just lied what he said. It was never no party. They gave Jerry Stackhouse 49 years now after being the 6th man of the year. Then signed this punk kid for $66 million. It's money talk, man. That nigga just running his goddamn mouth. He's tricking you dumb motherfuckers to believe it. That shit he talking about is real. Years you don't know the fire like I'm some punk. Years you fire like I'm some punk. Years you fire like I'm some punk. No, my nigga, we not doing years. You don't know the fire like I'm some punk. Fire like I'm some punk. Fire like I'm some punk. No, my nigga, we not doing that. Fire like I'm some punk. Fire like I'm some punk. Fire like I'm some punk. No, my nigga, we not doing that. Fire like I'm some punk. Fire like I'm some punk. Fire like I'm some punk. No, my nigga, we not doing that. Years, you don't know what the fuck you talk about when you understand what the fuck you saying. Years, you don't know what the fuck you talk about when you understand what the fuck you saying. For years, you don't know what you talk about when you understand what the fuck you saying.
Hold on.
No, bro, you don't understand what you talking about. That's
You
why
ain't gonna tell me like I'm not a grown man.
I'm gonna tell you this.
What I'm saying is, bro, what the man saying out of his mouth, I'm saying
what he's saying is cap, bro.
Whether it's cap or not, I see what the
it don't need to be said.
That's what I said, but you don't have to tell me.
I ain't telling you shit. I'm telling you wasn't there, so you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying what the man is telling. I'm saying what the man is saying. I hear you. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, do you understand the way the NBA works?
I wasn't in the NBA.
So that's why I said you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm listening to 2 million.
You're not listening. You're listening to one little insecure boy.
No, I'm listening, and I was about to respond to him in
bro. You're not letting me finish what I'm saying to get you a better understanding. You listening to a boy that all he's come to the internet to do is try to belittle a man. So he's framing something in a way to make it seem like he saw something in me the day Jerry Stackhouse said something, and that I was supposed to know what the fuck about. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about when you understand what the fuck you saying. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about when you understand what the fuck you saying. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about. Years you don't know what the fuck you talk about when you understand what the fuck you saying.
It's your turn now because you were talking while I was talking. After I heard you say you understand a nigga trying to make me look like a. Did y'all just hear that? He said I was talking while he was talking. After he said that, after I said that, you understand why a nigga did all that shit. Now, that was a miscommunication, but we'll let him have that. But he was saying I was talking while he was talking after, while he was trying to explain. This is what you're saying, sir. These are your own words.
Bitch. Okay, well, if you'd have let me finish, I
No, you gotta let me finish.
Y'all see how the man just said, it's your turn to talk. And all I said, bro, if you'd have let me finish, he can't have a conversation. You can't let a brother get a word out. You can't, I'm over here calm as possible. This is the man that's saying that I'm drunk. He don't want to disclose that he been drinking and smoking also. I'm over here talking in a calm voice. Who is over here yelling? Who is over here doing all the extra shit?
Right.
See, a lot of y'all see this shit, and this is when the celebrity shit come in. Now you're like, oh, I guess I'm a celebrity, I gotta be different. No, because if you was a regular nigga like me, everybody would be seeing what the fuck I'm saying. But I gotta convince people, I gotta make videos because y'all done put all this bullshit on my goddamn name. Now y'all don't want me to fucking react. Y'all don't want me to fucking goddamn. All I was saying is right here, this what you're saying right here is not true. That's what I was saying that night. Bruh, what the statement you're making right now is
Shit right here, nigger. This shit right here, nigger. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I am your host with the most, JB2 Reactions, giving y'all this Sunday afternoon content. Hope all is truly well with everybody, but we gonna get into it. But beforehand, it's Corona time. Corona time. Yeah, it's Corona time, ladies and gentlemen. So, and salute to the chat. Please make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We have good content on over here. And I am here to react and be entertaining. So let's get to the first video. Now, everything that I do talk about, just to be honest with you, is not going to be entertaining. This situation with people adding their opinion about Charlie Kirk's unfortunate demise, people are losing their jobs. People are losing their jobs, ladies and gentlemen. They are losing it. Okay, this clip comes from News Nation. They just dropped this like 18 hours ago. Companies fire employees for remarks about Charlie Kirk. Fair use. This for educational purposes only, and to keep people apprised, and to make sure you let people know it's a friendly tip. It's okay to have an opinion, but in the world that we live in today, it probably be in your best interest is to keep it to yourself, or talk about it with a friend or something. But under no circumstances do you really want to just say all of what you feel on social media, because yes, it can be offensive, and so offensive that it can actually cause you to lose your employment. Again, fair use. This for educational purposes only.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
As we continue to learn more about the alleged assassin who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, we're also seeing a cascade of people being fired for their comments, appearing to celebrate Kirk's passing, including Office Depot, which fired a worker for refusing to print a memorial poster. Also, the NFL's Carolina Panthers football team said they fired an employee for a social media post appearing to mock Kirk's death. And then Bengals player nonprofit, the Joe Burrow Foundation, also fired an advisory board member who they say made inappropriate remarks in light of recent events. News Nation's Jorge Ventura live with more. And Jorge, we know the list is growing of more workers being fired from their jobs. What's the latest on this?
Yeah, that's right, Natasha. Those firings are racking up, and many of those social media posts, either mocking or celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk, are actually being amplified by conservative influencers or activists with large accounts.
Now, I will say this. I totally do not agree with people celebrating and mocking his death. Let's just be clear. No matter what people views and they dislike or disdainment for this man, didn't warn him being unalive while he was at a school talking, excuse me, whatever the subject was, right? Don't matter. He got a right to his opinion just like everybody else. He did not deserve to be gunned down. I stand on that. Again, you can feel the way you want to about him, but see, frankly, in reality, though, unless you met this man and broke bread with this man, then come on, man, don't fool yourself. You may not like his views, but you can't possibly tell me as an individual, as a person, that you just don't like him. You don't know him not to. You just know the persona of what he lays out of himself and the quotes that he has, the things that he have said. Okay. I'm not going to allow no one to sit up here and hold that much weight on me about their words, about what they say. What's going on, Egan? Happy Sunday to you, bro. It's never that deep, okay? I'm not going to get caught up in no silliness because of somebody's words. Oh, they said the niggers here in Chicago need to die. Okay. That's their opinion. So what? I'm supposed to jump out the window and tell them, God damn it, you a goddamn liar. You ain't going. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I'm not doing none of that. You got people out here that will sit up here just because of something being said on social media. Now they in a big dumbass frenzy. For what? Why the fuck would I give that shit, any type of thing like that type of energy? It don't deserve it. But people fall for the bait every goddamn time and get messed up and lose sight on what it really is. Because at the end of the day, for that to happen to this man, that means that we all in trouble then, because the minute that somebody disagrees with what you're saying, they got a right to off you. They got a right to unalive you. No, that's not right. And it's not right in this situation either way. Regardless of his views, it's not right.
These accounts like Libs of TikTok have over 4 million followers and are encouraging their audience to contact the employers of those making the posts. And one of those companies facing the online backlash from Kirk supporters is Delta Airlines, the company announcing the suspension and investigation into some of their employees, saying that their social media posts went well beyond healthy, respectful debate and that they were in stark contrast to the company's policies. We've also seen the NASDAQ firing a junior level employee on Friday as well. The NASDAQ also citing zero tolerance policy towards violence and commentary that condones or celebrates the murder of Charlie Kirk. And we are seeing this across the board in different jobs, in sectors. The Guilford Technical Community College in North Carolina recently announcing that they've terminated a part-time instructor for similar reasons, citing that the social media posts did not share the college's respectful and learning working environment.
That is crazy as heck. Look, bro, I'm telling you, look, it don't help you none to sit online and lay your opinion out for free, and then in your real life, you get canned. You get your last paycheck, that's it. All because you want to give an opinion online. No. Hell fuck no. Hell fuck no. Mm-mm. See, again, this is me. That is a big fat no. No, that you put your own self in the do-lo twist. The minute that you get to talking like that, I'm telling you, somebody gonna take offense to it. They gonna report you, and then they gonna find out if you got a job, and then they gonna take the comments, a clip up, or screenshot, whatever the hell they got to do to be able to get that to your employment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to lose your job over your views, your personal views that you could have easily talked about it with a friend or something offline. If you really had to talk about it. I mean, but to get fired because you went on social media and you're spewing out hate speech, that is a big fat no. And just because you wasn't on company time, it don't even matter. See, and that's the part that people don't understand. It don't matter if you're not on company's time when you're giving your opinion. Especially if it's extreme. Oh, shit, it don't matter. If it's extreme and it's coming off as hate speech, you're gone. You're gone. They can't have you at that job if you got views like that. So that means you feel that way about probably some of the employees that work there that's the same nationality. Can't have you there.
And now Clemson University also under fire. Now we have South Carolina Congressman Thomas Beach calling for cuts to the university's funding after professors posted celebratory remarks. The hashtag Clemson on X is also trending right now because of it. We've also now seen a new statement from Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy today saying that American airline pilots were grounded and removed because they were caught celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Also,
see, again, who in their right mind will sit up here and be wanted? Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. That's to me, in my opinion, that's not right. That's not right to celebrate nobody's path getting unalived the way that he did. That's not cool at all. No, that's not cool. No, I can't get jiggy with that.
Also saying that the behavior is, quote, disgusting and should be fired, and that their behavior glorifying political violence is completely unacceptable. And this spree of firings have even gone local to employees at law firms and restaurants. But we're seeing this massive campaign right now, especially on X and Tasha, of these huge accounts.
So even you restaurant workers, you fast food restaurants workers, y'all ain't safe either. Stay off the goddamn internet. Don't say too much about that man. I'm talking about, man, they damn near shadow banning people when it comes down to that man's name. Y'all notice I put his last name up. I ain't put his full name up. Either way, they gonna still know I'm talking about him anyway, but still. No, they is watching people's channels that is talking about Charlie Kirk. And if you going too far, and you, like they said, you sitting up here celebrating it, not only will you lose your job, hell, you will probably lose the ability to be on that social media platform that you was able to spew out that hate speech. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're not going to tolerate that hate speech at all.
With millions of followers encouraging their audiences to contact the employers and making this push.
Damn.
Yeah, Jorge Ventura tracking that tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download.
Subscribe. All right, Nation News. All right. You got it on that one. Shout out to Nation News Nation. Shout out to News Nation. All right. Now, it's another one though, where this was a day ago. Marine fired for a social media post. Like, this is a day ago. Live now from Fox.
Okay, I have a confession. I was trying to stop my husband from buying this new 80.
Fox, I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us. Well, there is more fallout right now from social media posts that were put after Charlie Kirk's death. We've been seeing it really across not only the public jobs, but also some private sector jobs as well, but also in our military. I want to bring you this information that a Marine was fired for his social media post after Charlie Kirk's death. The result of the Pentagon's campaign to reprimand troops for inappropriate posts about Charlie Kirk's killing has been swift. Captain Austin Gallegos, a spokesperson for the Western Recruiting Region, confirmed a Marine officer whose post became part of the campaign on social media has been relieved of his duties as a recruiter and is now being investigated. Another military of...
Damn, see? Y'all see what the hell's going on here? Man, look. No. They relieved him of his duties, ladies and gentlemen. He's no longer a recruit. Imagine that. All because he went on what, ladies and gentlemen? He went on social media to voice his opinion. Now look at where it got him.
Official who spoke on conditions to candidly discuss ongoing investigations confirmed that their service branch had also initiated several investigations of service members and their social media posts following online reports.
Ew.
Also want to show you what Sean Parnell put out, saying it is unacceptable for military personnel and Department of War civilians to celebrate or mock the assassination of a fellow American. The Department of War has zero tolerance for it. Pete Hegseth also saying, we are tracking all these very closely and will address immediately. Completely unacceptable.
Damn. They not. I'm talking about, man. Bro, they relieved this Marine, a recruiter, relieved him of his duties because of his opinion on, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? On social media. Boy, this social media shit is insane. I'm trying to tell you, this shit is insane, ladies and gentlemen. You most definitely better be responsible on the internet and on any social media platforms. Yeah, you better. I'm talking about, man, they ain't playing. They not playing with nobody when it comes to that. When it comes to would it not worth it? When it comes to Charlie Kirk, they not playing no games at all. They getting rid of people. They getting you the hell up out of here. Lord Jesus Christ. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. All right, now let's get into the throwback video of Dr. Umar Johnson having a one-on-one debate with Cynthia G. Oh Lord, I think that should be a doozy right there. All right, fair use. This is for entertainment purposes only. Just to react to the conversation and debate that was had between Dr. Umar Johnson and, again, Cynthia G. Shout out to Danny's World for actually having given us this throwback moment right here. She laid this out like 3 weeks ago. Again, salute to Danny's World for the content.
Sub-Saharan. I'm talking about the Sub-Saharan slave trade. You should go look into it.
Excuse me.
You address me.
May I finish?
Go look into the Sub-Saharan slave trade where black men are trading their women and children for alcohol and tobacco.
I don't want a monologue. May I finish?
Go ahead, Dr. Umar. Influencer and YouTuber Cynthia G is back with us. Hi, Cynthia G.
Hi, how are you guys doing? I'm glad to be here again. I'm ready to go.
Let's go then. I'll do exactly what you tell me to do, and that would be go. Now, this question may seem rather odd and unusual for the title of this show alone in terms of, is there a war against black men? But the question is always asked here on The Business of Being Black because, well, it is the business of being black. So why should black people care if there is a war on black men or not? Cynthia, you kick it off.
So I first want to say there is a war on black men by other black men. And for that reason, I do think that we should care. I think that the perception of who's going to war against black men is going to determine where our energy is directed. And I think it's counterproductive to focus on the group of men who are terrorizing the black community simply because they're being bullied. There's no war against them by other people. They're being bullied by other groups of men. So that's why we should care.
Dewan, why should we care as black Americans if there's a war out on your kind, being black men?
We should care because black men are the breadwinners of our society. And what we've seen, especially over the last 50 years, is the jobs that black men specifically take have been taken away to other countries or put back into prison, which has then affected the whole family, which caused the so-called war on black men, like Cynthia G just said, happens when black men fight each other. That happens when the economy is destabilized. And you destabilize the economy through destabilizing the foundation of black men's income to ability to earn income. So that's where the war on black men is right now.
Hope, why should black people care?
We should care simply because when black men are not happy, black women can't thrive, and then the black household and black families don't flourish. I think that as long as black men feel attacked, they're always going to turn that back where they feel like they have the most power and honestly say so, which is the black family. Oftentimes that energy that we pour into who is doing what to other people is then neglected within our own black men, and then they cannot thrive as fathers, as nurturers, as caretakers, as heads of the household. But they can only do that if we acknowledge that there's a problem outside of us.
Dr. Umar, you, my sir, are a black man. Why should I care about a war being waged against you?
If you care about the future of black people, then you naturally have to care about the destiny of black men. When you look at most of the pathology in the black community today, from black on black crime to single female headed households, to poor academic outcomes, to unemployment, much of that is due to the war against black men. So if we want to survive and thrive as a black family and as a black community, we have to implement solutions for black men.
So Cynthia G says that the war is waged against black men towards black men. So everything that you just listed, Cynthia would suggest that that is the fault of the black man on his own.
And I would disagree with that. All of the problems that black men have were introduced by the white power structure. We do not control the school system. We do not control the criminal justice system. We do not control the economic system.
All of the problems that we struggle from were introduced by the white power structure. Black on black crime is a byproduct. It is a second-hand influence of the white power structure against black males. Stress, depression, fatherlessness, unemployment, miseducation, lack of economic opportunity.
I can't disagree with what Dr. Umar is saying right now. I cannot, if I'm being totally honest, I do not disagree at all with what Dr. Umar just said.
These are the ingredients that contribute to black on black crime. You cannot do an effective and accurate analysis of black on black crime until you first do an effective and accurate analysis of white on black crime.
Cynthia G, you say what?
I say this is the typical Black community's dishonest. I'm going to blame everything on everyone outside of the Black community and ignore what Black men are choosing to do. The reality of it is the system is not making Black men do anything. Whether Black men have schools where they can send their boys to is up to them. Whether Black men just choose to educate themselves so that they're qualified for positions that will give them the income they need to support their families, that is on Black men. Nobody's forcing Black men to walk away from their children. Nobody's forcing Black men to murder Black women every 5.5 hours. Nobody's forcing Black men to abandon their children, publicly display how they don't like or care.
Please help me, Lord, because I gotta listen to this woman and her voice. Yeah, not worth it. I promise you, I do not like her voice at all. I don't.
About their children. No one's forcing Black men to do anything. And I think it's a great disservice to pretend that someone is forcing Black men to do things rather than to put the accountability where it needs to be, which is Black men. If they have an issue with the system, they should have addressed it a long time ago. You don't get to complain that you don't have any power in a system that you didn't fight to have power in. You fought for assimilation. You did not fight for equality. That is on you. I think we're making excuses at this point.
Dwan?
And I would like to say,
go ahead, Dr. Umar.
Briefly, that Lyndon Baines Johnson had commissioned a Kerner Commission in 1967-68 to investigate the causes of the
Now, Bert, you know what? I can actually agree with that point. You can't keep blaming everybody else for your own shortcomings. At some point, you got to pick your own cell phone up and actually work for what you want in life. So I don't have no problem with what she said on that. I'm not saying that she can't even be right on some points. It's just her voice it irks the fuck up out of me, y'all. I'm sorry. But yes, Bert, you was right about that point of it, what she said. You really can't. If I sit up here and keep every time I come live, y'all, and I keep saying, oh, well, I can't never get ahead because, you know, the white man is keeping me down and the white man is stopping me. How? Ain't no white man in front of me. The fuck is going on here? Why the fuck would I even say some shit like that? Shit, that's the dumbest shit to me in the world when a motherfucker be like, well, a white man is stopping me. But I don't see no white man in front of you, though, stopping you from doing what? What, he in the clouds or something? What the fuck is going on?
1967 Red Hot Summer. As you know, there were more race riots across America in 1967 than any other year since 1919. led by Newark, New Jersey, and Detroit, Michigan. The Kerner Commission were experts in criminology, sociology, education, politics, and etc. They produced a book that is, I believe, at least 500 pages that details the reasons why those riots took place. And according to the president's own commission, the problems that exist in the Black community were created by the white power structure, maintained by the white power structure, and enforced by the white power structure. So Cynthia G's position is totally inaccurate and has been refuted by expert testimony coming from the Kerner Commission itself. And I would also say, good sister, that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. One of the reasons Dr. King was murdered is because the Kerner Commission was released, which would have gave Dr. King all the ammunition he needed to lead his breadbasket campaign. Even the white power structure admits that the problems Black men face were introduced by the white power structure.
And to go on top of that, to bring further evidence that Dr. Umar, what he's saying is right, we can go back to 1967 in South Central LA. There was one murder. Look it up. There was one murder in South Central LA in about an 18-month period between 1967 and 1968. Why? Because there was adequate resources. UCLA was bringing Black people in for free. When it came down to it, jobs were plentiful. When Black people were adequately resourced, you didn't see Black men killing each other. So when we talk about, this thing that's going on, it's not that anyone is forcing Black men to kill each other. That's not what nobody's saying. There's a cause and effect relationship between everything. And we're talking about having a full cause and effect, full on viewpoint of what's going on. What's the cause? What's the effect? When you live in a violent society that murdered its way to make the country and goes around the world enforcing murder, what's going to happen in that country is similar to what's going to happen outside the country. So we got to look at that. And when we talk about Black men killing each other, it's just a handful at the end of the day. When Black men interact, 99.9% of the time, the interactions are positive or neutral.
Now, look, they really, the media will really paint a picture about Black on Black crime, though, either way. All right. It's not as bad as people may think, though. Yes, it is bad as far as the totality of it all. So let's just be honest. But yes, will a lot of people lean towards a lot of Black people heading the charge or whatever the case may be? Yes. But my point is that the media, the news outlets, they control all of this shit, man. They can spin it however the fuck they want to spin it. It is nothing that you can do about it. Exactly, not worth it. It's nothing that you're gonna be able to do about it. If the media want this narrative to come, it's coming, and they bringing it to you, and they ain't gonna stop. They gonna keep going, keep going, keep going. I sit back and see it all the time. I just be like, oh shit. And look, the internet is undefeated for a reason. You can't beat the internet. I ain't seen nobody on this goddamn thing beat the internet. Look, hey, Bird. Look, yes, you can, because that's what you getting the information from. How else is you gonna get it from? Even if you go to any other sites to get certain information from, guess what? They got their hands on them type of sites too. Come on, man. They know when you looking up shit either way. So you don't escape it. You don't escape it, bro. You don't escape it.
Well, then you don't have an argument for the system because the whole system isn't doing anything to you. It's just a handful of people, right? But I wish we could get out the 1960s and jump into 2022. I feel like this is also another way for Black men to gaslight because they know they have done absolutely nothing. Even if you are complaining.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know, it's 2020 and you know you're gonna gaslight her and there ain't nothing you can do about it. God damn.
She's still around, though, Letitia. She's still around. Look, Letitia, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Welcome back. Yeah, but this is a throwback, Letitia. This is the throwback moment. Cynthia G and Dr. Umar Johnson. I never went over the video. And Carlos had sent this to me like a week ago. I was supposed to went over this. She did. Yeah, she did. She lost her monetization. She did. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know if she may have got it back, though, Letitia. I think she got it back, though. But don't quote me on that, though. But I think she got her monetization back. Because, yeah, she did lose it. Oh, yeah, they took her monetization quick.
About the system and the Kerner Commission and all of these policies, you failed to do anything about them. It is your failure to address the issue as...
Man, not worth it. You ding, 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 ding. Not worth it. You nailed it right on the head. No, that is irritating as fuck. Fuck that. I can't. No. Man, ain't no one, man. I don't want no woman talking to me like that. The way Cynthia, the way she does, shit. I'd have been and got cleaned the fuck up. Like, excuse me, I'm sorry. You know, I switch gears so fucking quick. I'll be trying to get the fuck on up out of there. Cause now I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to conversate with you. I don't want you to even keep even like relaying any type of conversation. You come on, this is torture. It's just her voice, though, bro. I ain't saying that she a bad woman and nothing like that. It's just her fucking voice. I can't take it, though.
Men that have these problems going on. You can say it's only a handful of Black men killing other Black men, but the reality of it is you don't have the same energy when you're talking about police shootings of Black men. Then you act like the entire police department, every last one in every single state, is doing something to you. But now when it comes to Black men terrorizing the community, making the community unsafe, killing Black men, women, and children, now you want to go to, oh, it's only a few of them. Be that as it may, the bottom line is the issues that Black men are inflicting on the community are issues.
The issues that Black men are creating for the community. The Black man and what he is doing and creating for the community. I'm trying to figure out, is you Black? Is you mixed? What's going on? Is she mixed? Is you an Oreo? I mean, what's up? God damn, I'm talking about straight. I swear she sound like an Oreo. Black on the outside, but all that white cream in the inside. God damn. Ain't nothing but the Oreo. Shit.
I'm trying to figure out what man would take you seriously talking like that, unless he a white dude. I'm trying to figure out what man gonna take her seriously, y'all, unless he probably a white dude that liked the way she talk. But I'm trying to figure out what black dude. Maybe it is, I don't know, but god damn it, man, hell no. No. I'm sorry, ain't no disrespect, because I don't know you. I don't know you, lady, but damn. Shonita, you said you used to sub up to a channel and you had to unsub a couple years ago. It was draining and exhausting after so long. I hear you. Yeah, man, Uncle.
That we should be focusing on.
I want to get Hope in on this real quick. Hope.
I mean, the fact of the lack of elevation and evolution that we see in these arguments are my biggest issue. Once again, we're back in the 1960s when we should be having, like Sin just said, a current conversation. Currently, Black men are not being held at the fire and said that if you don't provide this, or if you don't show up in this way, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to your family. Y'all just are not showing up. And then when you're asked to be held accountable to these things, you say things like, well, back in this time, and when we tried to do this back in a couple of years ago, half of y'all weren't even around when those things were, put into action. And then when you found out about them, instead of bringing them back to the forefront to see if they would work for you in this day and age, you just talk about what didn't work on the back end of things. I think that a lot of the times you all find it a lot easier to gaslight us into believing that we're the problem so that you can have more time to figure out what the solution is, but that's not the solution anymore. We figured out that doesn't work, and you trying to buy time in the system is not going to help anybody, and especially not the Black communities that you say that you love.
Let's bring
I mean, she does have a point, because you do have some men on out there that, they'll sit on their hands. They ain't gonna never want it. They don't want to do nothing. They want a handout at all costs. And people with common sense know that all men is not the same, and all men don't do things like that. But you do have some men on out there that ain't gonna bust a grape at a grape farm. They ain't trying to look for nothing. They'd rather be housewives and shit and be taking care, folding up clothes and cleaning and, every fucking day and shit like that. Right, exactly, Letitia. Right. And don't get it twisted, shit. I'm glad that the men that actually deserve it is gonna make sure to get up out that situation and do better. Thank you. Thank you. So my thing is this, right? Everyone ain't deserving of that type of thing anyway, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. What up with it, Sting? Thank you, Letitia. What up with it, Steely Dan? Salute to you. And anyway, my whole point is this. Wait a minute, G Mama Body said, I let a motherfucker know from the jump on what I expect and what I won't allow. And that's how it's supposed to be, though, G Mama Body, from the gate. So that way it ain't no misunderstanding about how you're going to treat me. We're not going to play a certain type of way. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. I mean, we could joke and talk shit all day long, but when it's just certain lines, please don't cross with me right here, because, I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? And let it be from that. Because see, I know I most definitely ain't got a problem with letting the person know right off the riff. Look, that ain't that with me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here sugarcoat nothing. I'm older. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be sitting up here playing no games with no motherfucker. I'm gonna let you know right off the riff. Hey, we good on this, but I don't play all them type of games, my nigga. I don't know you like that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have that type of rapport with a lot of people for people just to be playing with me any type of way anyway. And at the age that I am now, oh no, you ain't just gonna be playing with me any type of way anyway. No, because I'm gonna give you respect. You give it back. Fair exchange, no robbery. Then we move on about our damn business. But all that sitting up here going through all the changes and all, man, I ain't doing none of that shit. Once you get on some other shit, gone, bye-bye, I leave.
Go to break. Hold that thought, Dwan. Before we go to break, I do want to take up for my black brothers here. The CDC reports that black men show up to their families more than any other race in this country. Black men are taking their children to school. Black men are playing sports and doing outside extracurricular activities with their children more than white men, more than Asian Americans, more than any other ethnicity in this country. But we'll continue to talk about the war being waged against black men when we return on Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack on Fox Soul. We'll be back. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I am Tammy Mack, and the business of being black today are black men. Is there a war being waged against black men? First of all, I want to see where you all stand just by a yes or no. Dr. Umar, is there? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Hope, is there?
No.
Dwan?
Absolutely, yes.
Cynthia G, where are you on this?
The only war is the war that black men are waging against the black community.
So is that a yes or no?
Yes, there is.
Dwan, if there is a war waging against black men, do black men have allies?
No. The only allies we have is our other, well, I would say we don't have any outside allies as far as any other races, no. The only allies we have are black women who are on code with black men.
Because I was about to be real mad. I was about to go ham.
No. Because it's a lot of black women who are on code. I know I'm married to one. You know, I've been with the same woman for 20 years. So I can preach, I can walk what I preach when it comes down to this. We do have allies, and the allies, the ally is the black man, woman, and child. With this whole fight between black men and black women, it's like the women forgot.
Didn't I say earlier, ladies and gentlemen, that your significant other, right? That's your best friend. That, if we gonna be honest about some shit around here, your significant other should be, I'm talking about I'm talking about your number one best friend, right? Number one best friend. And look, when because I'm using that word for a reason, friend, right? That title, friend, right? That means that you taking the good, the bad, and the ugly day in, day out, year in, year out. Now check this, right? That is your ultimate best friend. Again, that goes back to what I said earlier. You have either good associates or bad associates. But your significant other is your best friend. That people need to wake up to that shit right there. All that, that's just a good buddy of mine. Yeah, he a good buddy. Yeah, we've been knowing each other. So what? We've been knowing each other for 30 years. So what? So what? And see, not worth it. Dudes that sit up there and use that word so loosely like that and really don't even understand the nature of that word friend. And you a certain age at this point in life and you don't understand that word. Shit. No, well, I ain't trying to sit up here and teach no motherfucking nothing. I know the true definition of a friend. And I'm telling you, without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion, your true and best friend is your significant other. Y'all share everything together. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That most definitely should be your best friend. It makes all the fucking sense in the world.
What about the kids? It's like it's this whole war going on, and it's like the kids be damned. You have people like Dr.
You jumped on me there, Dewan. You jumped on me. I don't even know how we got to the kids.
No, because we're all one. Black man, woman, and child.
Are you talking about the kids that black men abandon and publicly talk about how they don't want those children?
I can't speak for your life, but all those my father's always been there for me. My wife's father's always been there for her. I'm there for my wife. My grandparents are there. I have married lineage. I can go back 400 years of marriages. So I don't know.
Be that other may is very well documented.
I was talking. When it comes down to it, there are some men that leave. And we're going to talk about the men that leave. Let's talk about a lot of men that leave because of how they were pushed out by people who were going around trying to get government benefits. Let's talk about that. If he's not there, let's talk about all these single family households that are there because somebody wanted a baby so they can get a check one day and didn't give a damn about who she had that baby with. 80% of the women having the sex with the same 20% of men. If you keep in that same loophole, you got to look in the mirror.
Well, period. I don't know, Dewan. I mean, your points are well taken. I'm just confused on how we go from a war against black men to women having babies by different men. It's not adding up here. Dr. Umar, help me make the math.
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, we have to make sure that we conduct a systems analysis and an institutional assessment. Communities are made up of institutions or the lack thereof. Communities are governed by systems or the lack thereof. Let us be very clear about something. This fratricide, this black on black crime that so many of our brothers are engaging in, let us remember Irish did the same thing. Italians did the same thing. European Jews did the same thing. And in the 1930s and 1940s, the United States government decided to upgrade them to white status, and in so doing, gave the Italians control of the fire departments in the black community, gave the Irish control of the police departments in the black community, and gave the European Jewish immigrants control of the civil service municipal jobs that they still control in many city centers today. The point that I'm making, Tammy, is that America gave Southern European immigrants an economic stimulus package. Before they gave that economic stimulus package to Jews, Irish, and Italians, they were doing the exact same thing black men are doing today, selling drugs, breaking the law, running in gangs, killing one another. But the government intervened and aided them. The reason black male pathology is still going on 30, 40, 50 years later is there has been no resolution, there have been no solutions, and there have been no governmental intervention. With that being said, I'm not waiting on the government to solve the problems of black men. We as black men have to unite, come together, organize, and solve our own problems. Just because we can admit that the government introduced pathology into the black community, we can still take full responsibility for ending it ourselves.
Hope, I see you nodding.
Yes, because I feel like when you can name all of these things so eloquently and so beautifully, and yet y'all still fail at being able to do these things after years and years and years and years and years of trying, where do we find a new solution? Because if you can't talk to each other,
you know what? I am in full agreement with Dr. Umar and us black men being able to regulate ourselves. I'm in total agreement with that. I'm in total agreement with that. Why are we allowing somebody else, if we're going to be honest about that, we govern ourselves, right? Let's just be honest. I've always had that thought in my mind long time ago, like, well, why the fuck do we have to be governed by these individuals, and why can't we govern ourselves? Wait a minute. Now, Letitia, that's a good point. That's a good point that you lay out. Why don't the females just join the alphabet community if men are so horrible? That's a good point that you lay out right there.
The old men are scared of these new boys because they're a lot wilder than y'all were, because they're a lot more buck than y'all were. What ends up happening is I see that a lot of y'all see these young boys, and instead of addressing them, y'all are afraid of them. And so you walk away and say, well, that's their generation's problem. And it can't just be that generation's problem. Like Sin has been continuously saying, if I have to just answer the question with a yes or no, my answer is no, because the war that we're fighting for Black men is the one that Black men are fighting within themselves. Is it about adjacency to whiteness? Is it about being able to assimilate to that white hand, or is it really about the freedom of Black men and the Black family and the Black community?
I like that question a lot, Hope. I want to hang on to that question. Dewan, if there is a war against Black men, what exactly is the war?
The war is to disenfranchise Black men economically, because when you destabilize us economically, everything else is going to fall. We could take this back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which Maslow didn't come up with, but that's who gets credit for it. When you take away food, clothing, and shelter, everything on top is going to crumble. That's just human science. And what I'm hearing right now is people that are saying, ignore the science, ignore what's been proven for thousands of years, and let's just focus on these Black men. I don't care that everyone else has done it when they were in the same economic situation. I don't care the fact that Black men don't do this when they're sort of stable. Let's ignore all of that stuff, and let's just go back to what Black men need to be doing. When you take away the bottom need of the pyramid, everything else is going to crumble. And with that being done, it's still only a few of us crumbling. It's a whole lot of us winning too.
I agree with that. I want to go ahead, Hope.
I was going to say, but it's at the expense of the Black families that y'all claim to care so much about. I think that what we fail to realize is that when the Black men who do have that platform that are not doing those things get on, the last thing that they're thinking about is the Black adjacency to their family. They want to assimilate to whatever whiteness, whatever white male privilege they can get. And that
I can't disagree with what Hope is saying, though. Because time and time again, you have a lot of Black men that want to compete with the white men, so much so that they got to have them, well, what, ladies and gentlemen? A white snow bunny. They want to compete with the white boys so much so. No, here I'm talking about the point of this, though, Carlos. To me, and this is just my opinion, you do got some Black men on out there that want to compete so bad with the white man that they'll sit up there and get them the whitest goddamn snow bunny. I'm talking about the whitest of the white, goddammit, just so they can compete with them. I'm not saying all Black men. I'm not saying all Black men do it. I'm not even saying all Black women do it, but some do. It is what it is.
That's a large part of the problem. We see this happen when we look at social media, and we're seeing Black men publicly proclaim the idea of loving on everything but a Black woman, wanting to have children because their eyes and their hair are going to be looser and more exotic looking. You do not see that as much in the influx of Black women as you do in Black men. So when y'all do get on, then it should be the responsibility of y'all, if y'all really care about this upholding of the Black family, to then come back to the Black communities that you come from and create those Black families and show people.
Dr. Umar, you welcomed us to the show by saying Black power. Okay. Is there some truth to the assimilation that Black men want or perceive to want when it comes to this war being waged against you?
Well, there's definitely some truth to it, but I think that truth is also evident in Black women. Black men, many of them may choose to want a white woman, but many Black women choose to look like white women. So we have to look at ourselves, and we have to recognize that the pathology is not more of one gender than the other. That's the issue I have with conversations that seek to see who is more at fault, the Black man or the Black woman. It's not about who's more at fault. We rise together or we will perish together. The Black man cannot survive without his woman, and the Black woman cannot survive without her man. And the issue that I take with my two sisters' narrative is I hear a lot of criticism. I hear a lot of condemnation, but I don't hear any empowerment. I don't hear any solutions coming from either one of them. It appears as if that there is a hatred towards Black men by those sisters. Even when they said, why are we going back to 1960? Let's stay in 2022. That is so immature and irresponsible of a statement. As a psychologist, when a client comes into my office, the first thing I perform is a history on their depression, a history on their suicide, a history on their anxiety. When you go see the medical doctor, he performs a history. When you go buy a home, they perform a history. When you go purchase an automobile, they perform a history on that automobile. But when we talk about the problems that affect Black males, we're supposed to look at it in a vacuum. We're not supposed to put it in a historical context. And with that being said, the language and the narrative that's coming out of the mouth of these two beautiful Black women is one that I think the white power structure would endorse, because it totally absolves them of any responsibility for the hell Black men catch in this country.
Cynthia G, you did say, why are we going all the way back to 1960? There is some truth to history when it comes to evaluating anything or anyone. So what do you say to that? I hold that thought, because I only got about 30 seconds here, so I don't want you to get into it, because I know you're going to get into it good, sis, and then have to come right back out of it. You understand? So just make sure you understand the question at hand, which is about a person's history, in this particular case, Black men's history in America, and why it doesn't matter when it comes to the war being waged against them. We'll talk about that and more when we return on The Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack on Fox Soul. Oh, we'll be back. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I am Tammy.
Shout out to Tammy Mack. I like this form that she got going on, and letting them go back and forth without everybody over talking nobody. Is very much so organized. So shout out to Tammy Mack for this.
Tammy Mack, and The Business of Being Black today is Black men. Is there a war being waged against them? We left off with Dr. Umar talking about how history matters when it comes to the contextual matters of Black men having wars waged against them, a war waged against them. So Cynthia G, what do you say to historical context?
I say we should go to the historical context, because what I have not heard from Dr. Umar Johnson, or I think his name is Duane. Duane is what I have not heard, as they're mentioning all of the things that was done to them. I haven't heard what you did in response to it. So I would like to know, what did you do in response in history, other than go to the Supreme Court and petition to have access to the men's women that you're complaining and accusing of disenfranchising you? See, because in the 1960s, what Black men were really doing, and it's been documented, many civil rights leaders have admitted to it, what Black men were doing is chasing the white man's woman, trying to so-called...
Oh my God. Oh, say, oh my God. Hey, deja vu. Ooh. 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 How sway is that though, Carlos? We just was talking about that.
Stick it to him by way of going to their women. What you should have been doing is trying to get liberation for yourself. What you should have been trying to do is get that foot off your neck. But see, the foot is not on your neck. And the only time you recognize it being on your neck is when you want to get away with doing something that you think white men are getting away with doing. Because let's just be real. Whenever
even Cynthia G saying it, that the black man sitting up here trying to compete with the white man. God damn. Oh, God damn. If that don't spell it out for you right there, ladies and gentlemen, God damn. Hey, look. If I'm calling it down the middle, Carlos, shit, yes. It is more than a handful of black men and black women sitting up here trying to compete with the white man and the white woman. I'm telling you, bro, she not wrong about that though. I have to agree. Cause you do. Shit, man, please. I ain't even about to go there. I ain't gonna go there.
Hear about this war against black men, it's usually being brought up when there's a black man like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. We see Trey Songz going through it, Ari Spears, when they engage in some degeneracy, and then they're getting a consequence for it. And black men think that because they perceive white men to be getting away with crimes, they want to be able to get away with crimes as well.
Damn, but Cynthia G, come on now. How come they able to get away with those type of crimes in the first goddamn place? See, that's the better question right there, though, Cynthia G. How in the fuck is the white man able to still get away with those type of crimes in the first goddamn place is the question that that would be my question. Damn, because you know, the black man want to do the same crime and get away with it. Damn all that. Damn all of that. Why? How come the white man just gonna get away with it right in front of our face, and then he shits on the black man? You know what I'm saying? He shits on the black man when the black man does it and throws everything but the damn kitchen sink at the motherfucker. Ain't that a bitch? Deja vu.
Reality is, Dr. Umar can sit up here and list all the different ways that the system is disenfranchising black men and black men in a victim vote. But the reality is, what he cannot tell you is what black men did in response to it, because they did nothing. They laid down and they nested under the skirt of their non-black preferences, and only to complain that whenever they commit a crime, they're not getting off like they did.
So let's find out. Dr. Umar, what have black men done?
Well, number one, again, I think that it is such a shame coming from a psychological perspective that we seek to heal our wounds as a people by relying on unprofessional testimony by individuals who have a vendetta against the opposite gender in their community. When you hear Sister Cynthia speak, you can hear a hurt and a pain.
You know what? I can't disagree with that. Cynthia G does sound like a hurt woman. Like a black man that did her so goddamn wrong. She sound hurt. No, she most definitely does. She sounds very, very hurt. Now, Cynthia G, you got every right to feel the way you feel. That ain't what we gonna talk about right now. All black men ain't the same, Cynthia G. The same way that all black women ain't the same. Right? I get it. I get it. I get it. But you have your points. I'm not debating the part of your points. Like I said, I'm cutting it down the middle now.
look, regardless if I don't like your goddamn voice, I still don't have a problem saying when you didn't made valid points, and you have. But sometimes it seems like you kind of tilt a certain line with all that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're reflecting on self-hurt or situation that you have been in prior and past. You feel what I'm saying? So you speaking from a level of experience when you're having this type of debate. But what I'm going to tell you is that that's okay for you to feel that hurt. But just know that all black men ain't the same. And just because you had a bad experience with maybe a few black men, that don't mean that all black men is going to do you in, woman. I'm just saying. But I get it. Everybody has their breaking point. I don't know yours, so I won't speak to all that. So it is what it is.
And a hatred towards black men. We cannot find an effective solution to black male-female relationship issues or the oppression of black men or black women when the people at the table having the conversation have negative emotional and pathological interests in the conversation that are not.
Umar, the question wasn't about my emotional state. The question was, what did black men do in response to their disenfranchisement? Yeah, because you're trying to pathologize my emotional state, not knowing that I'm a psychologist too. But what you're not doing is telling us what black men did.
I believe he'll get there, Dr. Umar.
May I finish?
Dr. Umar.
And I'll end it quickly, Sister Tammy. According to Mrs. Cynthia G, Dr. King was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Malcolm X was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Medgar Evers was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Fred Hampton was assassinated because he was doing nothing. That narrative that black men have done nothing to fight back against systemic oppression, not only against ourselves, but against our women, our children, our elders, and our community is absolutely ridiculous. The cemetery is filled with black men, names we know and names we don't know, who gave their life for the freedom, liberation.
These are facts. Dr. Umar, thank you. These are facts. This is no misinformation on your part, Dr. Umar. You is dead on what you're saying. You spot on.
And emancipation of African people. How can you disrespect the history of so many black men, past and present, who continue to fight? I'm sitting in a school right now that we built with all black money, 4 buildings that we're going to educate black men in. It's not easy to solve our problems because there's always black people in your very same community who's fighting against what you're trying to do to help it. But in addition to that, the white power structure is always waving its wand of oppression to try to sabotage anything we do. I think that the analysis of our women is too overly simplistic, and in being such, it is dishonest.
They've done so much. You've only listed names and not accomplishments, though.
I can list some accomplishments. Okay, when it comes down to it, what have black men done since the 60s? We've turned around and we're still inventing things. We still open up businesses. Here in LA, you got black businesses all around town. It's just that when we open these businesses up, you have a city that these black businesses suddenly catch on fire. You have issues when it comes down to what's going on right now with one of my cousins and these abatement laws, who's built plenty of properties here in LA, managing it. But because of some gang activity down the street, a nuisance abatement is about to get all of his properties taken. So when black men do build things, and we build things on individual basis, you're not going to see an NBC special about what the great black man built. When Irv Gotti, Suge Knight, and J. Prince tried to put together a distribution, they all got charges the next week. So it's not like we don't build things. When we do build things, something always ends up seeming to happening. And in spite of that, you've seen the most black business male ownership that's gone up in the last 60 years since the coronavirus. We still.
Hey, what's going on, Just Jay? Happy Sunday to you. Hope all is well. I know you still getting it in for your birthday weekend. Because Lord have mercy. Shout out to Just Jay. Boy, she been 24 hours nonstop, god damn it, live. Just Jay live. Just Jay live, god damn it. Oh no, I got to stop with Just Jay. Shit. I'm talking about 24 goddamn hours, goddamn it. Oh, it was Don Julio. Oh, see, that's what the fuck that shit was. Cause see, I knew. I heard it all up in your voice. I knew. Shit, hell, I asked you up in your own damn chat. I say, Just Jay, what the hell you drinking for your damn birthday? You say, JB2, hit the cash out. Hit the cash. You didn't even tell me what the fuck you was drinking. All you said was hit the cash out. I say, what the fuck? Just Jay, you was telling motherfuckers to hit your goddamn panel. You bitch ass motherfucker. Come on up here and hit the goddamn panel. I say, wait a minute. Now, why the fuck would I want to hit the panel now? You done called me all type of bitch ass niggas. Hey, Vince, bring your bitch ass on up here. I say, oh shit. She done went crazy. She done went crazy. I say, oh no. Vince showed you though. Shout out to Vince. Vince hit the panel, man. Shit, I was scared. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Just Jay told me to hit the goddamn panel. I said, oh hell no. Just Jay, I'm scared of you. You on a roll. Shit. I say, fuck that. No. And then you was aggressive with it too. I say, shit, hell no. Look, I am a boy. Look, don't you get your ass. I ain't getting up there on that goddamn panel. Fuck that. I'm gonna listen to you down here in the chat. Shit. I was scared. I'm talking about Judge Jay was aggressive than a motherfucker. I say, man, look here. Yeah, this the safe. The chat is the safe space. Shit, fuck that shit. Shit. Judge Jay, you go up there on that goddamn panel at your own goddamn risk. You're gonna get your ass filed down. Judge Jay was on some bullshit for her birthday. But look, hey, she can be on whatever type of bullshit or whatever time she want to be on. Shit. Salute to Just Jay. Shit. But yeah, you was on some bullshit though. I ain't even gonna hold you though. 24 hours of straight birthday bullshit from Just Jay. Cause she was on that bullshit for real.
Doing it. I personally got 3 businesses. So I don't know what you're talking about. I employ young black men. I've helped thousands of black children here in South Central LA. So all this black men ain't doing nothing. Where are you kicking it at?
So how are you? So how are black men creating all these businesses and still costing the government $50 billion a year?
Hold that thought. I want to get Hope in
ignored.
here real quick, Dr. Umar. I want to get Hope in here because Dr. Umar listed a plethora of black men that we know, and I'm assuming he listed the ones that we know so that we can identify and all agree that these black men have done something in terms of the fight for equality in America. How do you feel about those men that he listed, Hope? Have they done anything for the black community or not?
Most definitely. I would be ignorant to say that they haven't, right? But I think that what we're failing to realize is that when we have this conversation about what black men have done, the consequences are usually because of white supremacy and the gaze of white folks on us are that the black men are then taken away and the black women have to then sustain those things. To say that black women are unappreciative of that, it would be, I think that is the dishonesty, right? The way that Black women show up for the Black community and the Black families, regardless of how we feel about the Black men that we might be interacting with or the Black men that are doing bad things, while still staying here to cultivate the Black men who are, is, I mean, to overlook that to me is just dishonest. The idea that y'all, a lot of you all were raised by grandma them and auntie them and all of these amazing Black women that are in community and share space with you and share space with your children, that's being looked over. But also, this isn't, Dr. Umar, you're right. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that you said, but you're absolutely right. It's not about the idea of who's doing it better or trying to, the pissing match of the oppression Olympus amongst Black people, but it's really about working together. The problem is, what I find in working together is that the Black man wants to lead, whether he's acquired the gumption and the knowledge to be able to do so appropriately and effectively or not. The thing about it is, when you're working together, we are a team. You get to lead this portion because you're better at it. I get to lead that portion because I'm better at it. And then we come to a common ground for both of us to succeed. But a lot of the times when we're talking about these succession plans and we're making all of these advocacy movements in order to progress the Black family, the Black man says, listen to me or fail. Right? As if Black women have nothing to contribute to that. And I think that that's where the problem is. That's where the discourse needs to happen, is how do we work together so that Black men understand that we are meant to work side by side and not with me following you with my head down and saying, yes, that's our master. Because that is me being subservient to you in a way that I might not want to do, especially considering if you do not have the credentials, the know-how, the wherewithal, or the lived experiences to lead me in a way that I might be better suited to do in this point of our journey. And
Dr. Umar.
Well, first of all, I do not endorse any kind of a second-class citizenship role for Black women. I believe Black women have as much to offer as do Black men. So I'm not sure who the Queen is referring to, because I am not a misogynist and I do not support that type of narrative that said the Black woman's position is only to have children and to prepare food. But at the same time, I think Black women have to look at themselves, because although white supremacy has been the greatest enemy of the progress of Black men, you would also have to argue that Black women have probably been the greatest accomplice to supporting the white power structure in their destruction of Black males, i.e. the conversation we're having right now.
Damn. Dr. Umar, you spot on. I most definitely agree with that statement that you just made. The white man is using the Black woman to go against the Black men. Yeah, I already know. Return to Pan-African one. I already know, man. I already had said already that the Bears was gonna lose to Detroit anyway. So, you know, as you can see, I don't even have any Bears paraphernalia on today at all. I knew it. I knew they was gonna lose to Detroit.
Where two intelligent Black women have yet to indict white supremacy for the role that they play in the destabilization of the lives of Black men.
So when we come back, we'll find out if the two beautiful sisters who are on the panel will indict white supremacy when we return on The Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack on Fox Soul. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I am Tammy Mack, and the business of being Black today is Black men. Has there been a war waged against our brothers? Well, please welcome author and activist Hope Chisel, Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Dr. Umar Johnson, radio personality and family advocate, Dewan Brown, influencer and YouTuber, Cynthia G. Well, thank you all for this conversation. Do Black men in America face more obstacles than Black men in other countries? We're going to talk about that. But first, I want to know, is white supremacy responsible for any of the Black man's plight at all? Hope?
Most definitely. Like, let's not play coy here. We understand the role that white supremacy has played. But I think that over time, as we learn the tricks of white supremacy, right, we learn to do better to defeat it. And I find that, especially as Black men, a lot of the time when we're talking about this war on Black men, we fail to realize that Black women are underneath the same scrutinies. Maybe not in the same way and maybe not for the same reasons, but y'all are not going through this alone. And so when you talk about the ways in which Black women have learned to take, you know, what we're given and turn it into glitter together and throw it up and make Black girl magic. We wonder why those things are not happening for Black men in the same way. And it's largely because I think that complacency happens. A lot of Black men, not all, are complacent with the idea of being saved by everyone other than themselves. They're okay with the idea of being saved by Black women, white women, women of all other races. They're okay with the idea of being saved by white men who give them the opportunity to come and be a part of this thing that's better than what they are. But what they're not doing is being complacent in the idea of finding their own solutions to digging their way out of the hole. And having one or two people that are speaking on it with the idea of inclusion or exclusion of certain people within the Black community is also a problem. We cannot build as a Black community if we want to throw out this group of people or throw out that group of people or tell these people that their opinions are invalid even though they're Black because they're mixed race or because they're queer or because of all these other, incidences. And I think that those are the things that we have to focus on. The goalposts can't constantly be moved in this conversation whenever Black women start to make a point for the sake of Black men feeling like they need to be able to dismantle that in order to talk about how they've been hurt. We get that. We have to.
Cynthia G, white supremacy, does it exist in your world? And has it affected Black men?
Absolutely, it exists. And Black men have worked in tandem with white supremacy since they've become in contact with it. And this is why I say in the Black community, we have very disingenuous, very dishonest discussions, especially when it's regarding Black men, because we do have a Black male worshiping culture. So what we do within that culture, and Umar Johnson is showing it today, is absolve Black men from any accountability for what they've done. Number one, we wouldn't be in a system of white supremacy had it not been for Black men. So if you want to go all the way back to history, then let's go back to history when Black men were selling their own people into white supremacy. Let's go back into history when 16 years off the plantation, Black men weren't worried about a war being waged on them. They were worried about getting access to white women. That's what you were worried about. And it's interesting. There's a reason why I feel like Umar focused mostly on me and Hope's attitudes, and it's because he can't accurately answer the question. He mentioned names, not accomplishments. And the reason being is because
I think he mentioned those names specifically because the accomplishments of those people don't have to be explained.
Right, but those accomplishments are also accomplishments that I've heard Umar Johnson speak negatively about, specifically the civil rights movement and how damaging it was to Black people. But now he wants to sit here and say the very people who accomplished that were accomplishing something beneficial when, in his own opinion, that wasn't beneficial and did more harm to the community than good. So I think that because we're having such a dishonest discussion where Black men don't want to take accountability for what they've done, they want to be the victims of society, but then they want submission from the women. The bottom line is I'm not willing to deflect from the fact that number one, Black men are the greatest non-white contributors to white supremacy. Let's just be real. White supremacy couldn't even exist without Black men's compliance. They're always uplifting.
What the fuck is you talking about, Cynthia G? That don't even make no sense about what you just said. That don't make no sense right there, what you just said. I totally disagree with that statement that you just made. Black men, let's be clear about some things, Cynthia G. Black men was forced with a certain hand that they had to deal with. It's called surviving. What the fuck is you talking about? If them Black men don't survive and do what the fuck they do, probably none of us would be here today. Cynthia G. It ain't so black and white the way you trying to make it seem, though.
Whiteness, biracial children, and trying to assimilate. And that's why I went back to the notion of the only time Black men truly feel like there's a war against them is when they feel like they're being punished for something white men do. At the end of the day, y'all drop the ball. You're blaming white supremacy on your failures. We already know there's oppression, but Black women are double oppressed. We have more barriers to face. You have male privilege in a patriarchal system and you can't even get it right.
And you're right. You're right about that, though, Letitia's. It is some Black men and women. Oh, they gonna pony up with the white man for sure. But then I think it's the same way with white folks sitting up here helping black folks. To me, it goes hand in hand. You feel what I'm saying? But yes, I can't even deny that one right there. Shit, I can't deny that at all. Yes.
Well, Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar, I think we all know your stance on interracial marriages.
Absolutely, but let me also
so please acknowledge what the rest of what Cynthia G has said.
Absolutely, I'm not sure where Sister Cynthia took history class, but if you know anything about the transatlantic slave trade was a European enterprise.
I'm talking about the sub-Saharan. I'm talking about the sub-Saharan slave trade. You should go look into it.
Excuse me.
You address me.
May I finish?
Go look into the sub-Saharan slave trade where black men are trading their women and children for alcohol. And
she is so fucking rude. You can't even let him land this goddamn plane, and you got to sit up here and interrupt Dr. Umar. Let him land this goddamn plane. He didn't interrupt you. Look, she ain't showing Dr. Umar no respect at all. This is probably about her 5th or 6th time interrupting Dr. Umar when he's trying to make his point. You is the problem, Cynthia G. You is the problem. The fuck?
I want a monologue. May I finish?
Go ahead, Dr. Umar.
The transatlantic slave trade was a European enterprise. It was not an African enterprise. Although there were some chiefs who participated in it, by no means did they control the direction and extension of the transatlantic slave trade. So that's number one. Number two, black men resisted enslavement, not only on the shores of Africa, but right here in America. We celebrate Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser. There's literally hundreds of documented attempts by African men to liberate not only themselves, but their women and their children. So to act like we just sat there and we're complicit in our own oppression is absolutely ridiculous. The other point I want to clarify for your information, Cynthia G, you've never, ever heard me condemn the civil rights movement. The good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a hero of mine. And despite me being a Pan-African nationalist, I take issue with other black nationalists who do want to dismiss Dr. King's accomplishment. The civil rights movement was necessary because it removed a psychological scar that suggested of racial inferiority. So you've never heard me deride the civil rights movement. I support it, although I took certain issues with it. The bottom line is when black women, black girls, black boys listen to this conversation we're having today, they're going to be confused because they hear two brothers speaking of a greater context to the problems that affect black men. And you,
Dr. Umar, when you right, bro. Most definitely I ain't gonna agree with everything that you say, but I have no disagreement with what you're saying thus far with your point. Letitia say JB, the colonizers will help our people to a point, but never to suppress them or their status, in my opinion. Oh yeah, no doubt. They gonna give them so much. Don't get me wrong, I ain't looking for the pole man, for the pale man's help either. No, and I totally get your point though, Letitia, on that. And you're right. They only gonna give you so much. They ain't gonna give you enough like that to sink them. But guess what? Us black folks will to the white man. How sway is that? You got our own kind that'll sit up here and sell us completely the fuck out without hesitation. You ain't even got to ask twice. They gonna do it. They gonna do it the first time around. and wear a smile on their goddamn face doing it. House sway.
Here, two intelligent, beautiful black women who want to keep scapegoating black men while ignoring the historical and contemporary systemic challenges that are constantly placed in our way. I'm going to say this and be quiet, Sister Tammy. I got to give you this. There was a recent piece of research, Tammy, that came out. And the research said a black man with a master's degree, they did a study. They had white males who had come out of prison apply for jobs. They had black men with master's degrees, Sister Tammy, apply for the jobs. And guess what? The white males with prison history and no education were called back more than 75% of the time than black men with no prison history and a master's degree.
I'm aware of that. I am aware of that survey. I am. Hope, I saw you give Dr. Umar the side eye.
It's only because I can't, you have 1,001 clips on the internet, but I know for a fact that one of the things that I was offended about in doing research or just seeing you on the internet is that you have definitely talked about your disdain for some of the practices of Dr. Martin Luther King. So to sit here and gaslight us as if most of us have not seen.
That's not true. Find the clip. Find the clip.
Well, Dr. Umar, you yourself said you had you yourself just seconds ago said you did find some things in the civil rights movement problematic.
But I supported the movement and I still support it. I visit
everyone supported it
every time I'm in Atlanta. Nobody, I have never been
as a black man, as a black person in
If
America,
we're going to have the conversation, let us be honest. Let's not misrepresent.
You're the only one not being honest, Umar. You're not being honest.
Find the clip. We don't have to argue about it. We don't have to argue about it.
You just admitted to it. We don't need
it. 60 seconds left on the 60 seconds left on this segment. We won't be able to find the clip on this show. But Hope, finish. Hope.
Essentially, whether we find the clip or not, we know that those things have been said, and you know that you've said controversial things. Once again, we see you moving the goalpost when you find that.
Controversial according to who?
We find, once again, because my thing is you and Cynthia can have that dynamic, but I give you the space to speak. I've given everybody that space to speak, so please don't interrupt me. At the end of the day,
you interrupted me as well. Let's be fair.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
And so once again, here we go in a space where Black women are making a point. It's more important to the Black.
It's not about you being a woman. It was about you being incorrect.
When Black women are
being a woman. I respect you. You were incorrect. You were incorrect. I didn't have the issue with a woman. You were incorrect.
Well, let's all breathe in, breathe out, and I'll take a commercial break. All right?
She said something that was
We'll take a commercial break.
He's not incorrect.
To wrap this up on the business of being Black.
They hate Black men. That's the problem. They hate.
Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I am Tammy Mack, and the business of being Black today is there a war being waged against Black men? Dr. Umar is getting it a little bit because he says the ladies are lying on him. And I suggest that you run through and roll through every interview and clip that Dr. Umar has to find the clip, as he would say. One thing I agree with you on, Dr. Umar, is a lot of times when we have these conversations, we start comparing Black women to Black men, and we tear one down in order to make the other's point. And oftentimes when I have these debates on the business of being Black, I notice that is often the debate, to break the other person down rather than build them up. But I do want to do some comparative questioning right here. Do Black men face more obstacles than Black women? Dwan.
I don't want to put it in a more or less. We face different obstacles. But at the end of the day, this is what we can say is true. Black women have a safety net that Black men don't have. If a Black man loses his job, like earlier, what they're talking about earlier, Black men have no accountability. Well, if a Black man don't pay child support, he gets his license taken away, he gets his passport taken away, and he can't get a job. So there's accountability there. When it comes down to when a Black man messes up, he's going to go to prison far longer than anyone of any other race or any other sex. So we have the most extreme consequences, but when it comes to a safety net for when we mess up, when we're down in our life, there are no programs for Black men. You can't go through the government and say, hey, if the Black men with children, here are this list of programs that only men can get. But it's a whole lot of stuff out there for women. So what's happening, what I'm seeing right here is a lot of lies being told, but lies of omission. omitting these safety, the fact that women have these safety nets that black men don't have, and also omitting the fact that in spite of all this, 3 out of 4 black men still get married to black women, and we still provide and we still do these things. So,
but
yes,
Dewan, what Cynthia would say is, how come you haven't created your own programs?
Well, I personally created my own program. I've written 2 books. You know what I mean?
But that's not a.
That's, you know what? She ain't lying. That's not a program. Now, you know what would be ideal? And this is just me saying this, right? They need to put a curriculum in the schools, in high schools, showing high school students on how to build credit. Just a thought. Showing high school students the importance of a good credit score. Learning how to build credit. I think that should be applied in high schools. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't learn, if you don't learn it at home, how come they can't teach you that in school on how to make sure show you how to build credit, show you how to sustain a good credit score? So when you get out there in the world, yeah, they could do it in middle school too, Reg, but they need to put that up in there so they can show. That's some shit to me. OG Mount, you said then start the program. I'm just throwing the idea on out there. I mean, shit, I could campaign the idea, but you know, it takes everybody to be on board with something like that. You feel what I'm saying? But I think that would benefit not only just us black folks and the black kids, that'll benefit every goddamn body. Because that is something that they would use when they get into the real life and get out there and take care of themselves. Know the importance of having a good credit score. Telling you, you have a good credit score, you get anything the fuck you want. Because they know you're going to pay. They know you're going to be on time with the payments. And they don't have a problem with giving you anything that the fuck you want. But that's providing that you be responsible. Right. That's it. How come? Think about it. They need that. That's the thing that they need to know when they get out there on their own on how to be responsible with their finances. That is the thing right there. I believe. If I'm sitting back looking at everything that's going on, I think if you put a curriculum surrounding that, then it would be it won't be so many homeless people in the fucking world. I'm telling you, that's just my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Whether if y'all rocking and rolling with it or not, I feel like that's something that they can use once they leave high school, whether they go to college or not. They still have the knowledge and the know-how to be able to sustain a good credit score. Make sure they pay their bills on time. I'm trying to tell you, Deja Vu. I'm just saying.
Program.
No, I know. I also have a whole program on how to communicate to your children and how to communicate to families, because my thing is about solutions.
Well, you're talking about safety nets. So the question becomes, how come black men haven't created safety nets?
Black men, the Nation of Islam created what they can create as far as safety nets goes. Black independent organizations create safety nets for each other all the time. I'm talking about governmental safety nets. We can't go to the United States and say, hey, we need something only for black men, because it doesn't exist. There's a whole welfare program coming out in Atlanta that's only for black women. Same thing in California. There's a whole universal basic income.
Hey, look, wait a minute. Hold on. When I heard her say something about black girl magic, I say, boy, if Kwame Brown was up in the clouds right now listening in on this show, he probably was cringing up like a motherfucker. Talk about some goddamn black girl magic and all that shit. What about the black boy magic? That shit was funny as hell. Cause I didn't think that shit, I didn't think she was gonna say no shit like that. What up with it, Keon? Look, that was right on time. That was right on time for Kwame Brown. So, hey, what about black boy magic? What about black boy magic? Y'all talking about so much about black girl magic. Shit, what about black boy magic? Shit. Oh, god damn, that shit was funny as hell. I'm sitting back like, god damn, she said black girl magic. I say shit. Kwame Brown's goddamn it talking about some, well, what about black boy magic? You know what I'm saying? He probably, y'all know how Kwame Brown get out. Y'all know how Kwame Brown get out.
That only black women can qualify for. Black men can't
but do you believe that that's because black women came together and said we need a program?
No, the reason why that happens is because the white supremacist plays on this schism within black society, and they give one side greater gifts than the other, and that can lead to infighting. And then people who don't analyze what's really going on, they're going to just see the result and not see the cause and say, what's wrong with black people? That's the government's tricks going on like it's always done. Let's elevate one group over the other and watch these two rascals fight each other. That's what's going on.
Okay. I'm not sure that anything governmental is a gift, though, but hope.
I think that when we talk about it, a lot of those programs, especially the ones from back in the day, since we are going to do the history thing, were not just made for black women, but black women accessed them because black women were the ones that were in the household that had to take care of whatever was left when the government did steal our black men away, or when black men did fall into the hands of white supremacy. But I also think that the question now is, if you don't see that those things are happening, if we're not seeing those things in influx, then what are the greater black male population doing to enforce that these things happen? When women want things, especially when black women want things, we get up, we say something, we talk about it, and we're going to talk about it till we're blue in the face and until we get those things done. A lot of the times what I find is that black men think that they can ride off of those things, and then when things come to pass and they're not put into the game plan, then you're upset. Then it's like, oh, well, we thought we were going to, why? You did none of the work. You sat behind me and you watched me rally and you watched me do all of these things, and then you thought that you were going to benefit from it. And I'm sorry that I left you off, but honestly, when I was doing this work, it was hard to consider you, considering that I have to take care of you regardless in a lot of those spaces. But I also think that hit dogs will holler. If these things do not apply to you, then let's talk about how you help them to apply to the people that they do and pull those brothers out of the struggle instead of trying to defend something that does not apply to you. If it don't apply, let it fly, and let's figure out how to pull everybody into that fold instead of defending a narrative that you don't even conform to. Why are you so upset?
When I always hear, like, when Dwan, when you were talking about the government subsidies that black women have, it always makes me think about the movie Claudine with Diane Carroll and James Earl Jones, and him being the trash man and having to hide him in the closet when the people came. So I do believe that it definitely was a setup for a letdown in the black community. Dr. Umar?
Yes, indeed. One of the problems with the conversation, not with you, Tammy, but the responses, they're so individualized. Nothing is being evaluated from a group perspective or a community perspective or a systems perspective or an institutional perspective. The bottom line is anything black men want to do to liberate ourselves or our community, we can't do it without our women. And anything our women want to do to liberate themselves or the community, they can't do it without the men. It is not a competition. It should be a collaboration. But once again, some of us in the conversation are so filled with hatred for the opposite gender that we can never get around to talking about solutions. And in speaking of clips, Sister Tammy, there is one clip you might want to ask Sister Cynthia about, because it was sent to me by about 30 people several months ago, maybe even weeks, where she suggested that black women, should abort their black male fetuses because after birth, they would not contribute to anything worthwhile in the black community. Could you ask her to clarify her comments?
I would love to.
Women,
well, I would love to too, but we don't have.
Damn. Dr. Umar shot back like, yeah, well, can you clear that on up, Cynthia G? He still was able to say it. God damn. He got you right between the eyes, Cynthia G. You caught a break. You caught a break now. You actually caught a break. God damn.
Time. So, Dr. Umar, what I need you to do is tell us what you're working on so we can be a part of it.
Yes, indeed. This Saturday will be the second annual Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG Family Festival right here at 601 East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. All free. Come out. We are looking forward to seeing everybody. Go to fdmgfestival.com to register for the free event. And please register for my new online video platform, www.drumar.tv. That's www.drumar.tv. And parents who need help with their children, special education, ADHD, psychiatric medication, IEP, autism, learning disability, reach out to me, 215-989-9858.
Dewan, please tell us about your book, Tell It Like It Is.
Tell it like it is, the art of loving communication. We can talk all day about bringing the black family together, but we're not going to have the black family together until the black family know how to talk to each other.
And where can we get the book? On Amazon?
We can get it at my website, breakthroughas.org.
Got it. Hope, please talk to me. Talk to me, sis.
So right now I have my book, Until I Met Black Men, available on Amazon or wherever books are sold. But also I want to bring attention back to Brittany Griner. She is still out there, and we have Black Feminist Future that you can follow on all platforms, including Instagram, that are helping to make sure that our sister gets home, because that's a huge thing right now that we're not talking about and that we're not discussing in the same way that we discuss when Black men are going through some of the same things.
Now, because this show is about the war waged against Black men, Until I Met Black Men, is that a good thing?
It's a great thing. It talks a lot. What a lot of people thought the book was going to be was a read towards all the Black men that I've met in my life, but what it really
But it is not. Right?
It is not.
All right. Cynthia G, tell me about the content of your YouTube channel.
Well, if anyone really wants to know about why selective breeding will be the best thing for our community, then they can come to my channel where I explain that, as I also talk about the dynamic between Black men and Black women, and Black women's need to have standards, expectations, and boundaries when dealing especially with Black men, but any man in general, and open up your options too. Put you first. Stop thinking about Black men.
Okay. And I'm gonna be thinking about my Black man.
Right? What the fuck? Oh, hell no! You got a strong goddamn hatred for Black men. Oh, hell, fuck no. No, you, Cynthia G, you have a strong hatred for Black men. Look. That's already evident that you got to think about yourself. Don't think about Black men. It's no wonder why I never did any type of content off of you. Because, see, you will literally piss me the fuck off with the shit that I know that will come up out of your mouth and that irritating ass voice. Oh, hell no. I look, don't ever nobody send me no content if it got. Now, again, I ain't tripping about the debate that Dr. Umar and Cynthia G had. I ain't tripping about that. But if you send me some straight up content about her, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Fuck that. Because she will literally piss you the fuck off. No, don't send me no content about her. Hell fuck no, because her hatred for, man, she got a strong hatred for black men, though, Carlos. I don't need, man, hell fuck no. I ain't about to get her relevant in those damn algorithms. Not over here. Her algorithm over here at the JB2 reaction show is going to be dead. Man, fuck that. I can't do it. No, she's, man, I can't even take her voice. That's why I can't. She got to be, like, her voice got to be tolerable enough for me to want to listen to her. Like, bro, I'm telling you, if it weren't for Dr. Umar talking to her, I wouldn't have listened to her. I'm just going to be honest, because that's how unbearable she is in her voice. Like, I just don't take her seriously at all. All at all. And black men is sitting up here and they're in competition with the white man. Man, she a motherfucking Oreo, Carlos. The fuck? She a motherfucking Oreo. And shit, fuck that. She the whole motherfucking vanilla wafer. Shit, fuck that. Look like she been bleaching her motherfucking skin. Shit, I swear, it look like she been bleaching her motherfucking skin right now so she could be a white girl. So she shaking like a white girl, do that. Move that body. Shaking like a white girl, do that. Break it on down. Yeah, Cynthia G, she want to shake it like a white girl. Man, please. Man, look at her skin, Carlos. You can't tell me that she ain't doing a Michael Jackson right now. Bleaching her goddamn skin and shit. She trying to bleach all the black up off of her, Carlos. Shit. Man, look. We all hurt. We all have been through some type of hurt in our damn life. See, I'm so sick of motherfuckers. See, I'm going to tell y'all something, right? I'm so sick of motherfuckers getting on the damn internet and want to tell everybody, strangers, that they ain't never going to meet, ain't never going to break bread with, all they troubles, all they goddamn heartache. Who the fuck cares? I don't give a fuck about your heartache and pain or what you done went through to your past relationships. Go on somewhere. Just want somebody to talk about you and sit up here so you can sit up here and get mad and fake and pump fake and all that old bullshit. Like, man, get the fuck out of here with all that shit. I don't be wanting to hear that shit. I don't give no fuck. Stay the fuck off the goddamn internet with it. Oh, but you know what, though? They ain't gonna stay off the internet because they want some attention. They want people to talk on them so then they could be fake mad and then respond and then it'll never end. Man, please, man, get the fuck out of here. Talking about some close your ears. It be some bullshit, man. Man, come on, man. Man, I'm not going to get on this motherfucker and get to complaining to y'all about some shit that y'all don't even have fucking knowledge of. So I can tell you any goddamn thing. No, man. These motherfuckers is some actors, man. They get on the internet. They tell you whatever type of story that you may or may believe. And then they go from there. Hey, Rachel. Man, these motherfuckers, man, be pump faking like a motherfucker, man. Please. Man, please. No. Well, she'll never be preaching to me. Fuck that shit, because I can't even take her goddamn voice. I will never listen to none of her content. Not on purpose. Not on purpose. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that, what you said about that shoe drive, Carlos. Keyword, past tense, was. I ain't crying about it no more. And see, you mixing apples and oranges. With the shoe drive, that was me actually trying to donate to kids that didn't have. You feel what I'm saying? So I that was a good deed. I didn't have to go out my way and do what I did, but I did. And I ain't had no problem with it. It's just when motherfucker tried to shit on me and act like it was like I was that much of a fanboy or some shit. Like, I ain't take no pictures with you, motherfucker. I ain't sit up here and video when I finally saw you and all that other shit. I didn't do that shit to Kwame. And my phone was right there in my motherfucking pocket. I could have easily been taking pictures of me and Kwame going up in the damn Brunswick Bowl. I didn't do that dumb shit. No, I ain't do no. No, I ain't do none of that shit. My phone was right there in my goddamn pocket. If I was really a goddamn fanboy, I most definitely would have been taking pictures and all that other shit. I didn't do that shit. Hell no, I ain't, man, please. Taking no motherfucker, man, look. I didn't even care about it at that point as far as that point, that all that shit anyway. You have to take no damn picture. Motherfucker know I was down there, so it is what it is. No, Carlos. See, now you trying to go left with it. No. You ain't shit, Carlos. You know that? I know what you just did right there. You ain't shit. Hey, but then look, Just Jay, that wouldn't have made no sense at all. Why the fuck I'm gonna leave my damn phone in the car just because I was giving Kwame Brown some damn shoes? Like, hell no, I ain't leaving my goddamn phone in the car. Anything can happen between me getting out the damn car and going right up in Brunswick Bowl. No. I had to have my phone with me right then and there. Fuck that shit. See, that was on Biz. I ain't mad at him. Look, I ain't judging him. I ain't got nothing to say about how he handled his business on that. But I'm talking about me. No, I gotta have my phone on me at all times. Anything can happen. Shit, fuck that shit. No. I ain't right around the corner from the crib. Shit, I'm down in Georgia. Shit, fuck that shit. Everything gonna get documented around this motherfucker. Yeah, everything gonna get documented. Whatever that needed to get documented, it would have got documented. Trust. Shit, I ain't no motherfucker. Hey, no, you ain't gonna. No. We ain't doing that. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. So it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. You said Duke might call. Shit. Look, speaking of which, I got to get the fuck on up off of here. Yeah, speaking of which. Yeah, no, EV. That's why I'm about to get the fuck on up off of here now so I can get this grill started. And that's why I did the live stream now so I can get the content out there, and then I can get on the grill for the remainder of the day. it ain't gonna take me long because, like I said, I'm not making a whole lot. I'm just making a little bit of a couple Polishes, some burgers. Man, you'll see it. You'll see it, Carlos, when we finally set up something. That's when we gonna show shit. Right now, this is just some casual shit at the crib. I'm about to throw something on the grill real quick, you know what I'm talking about, and then get the fuck on. Shit. But when we about to do our grill off and shit, then yeah, we showing their goddamn thing. Shit, fuck all that. Cause you think you just the shit when it comes down to barbecuing. And I'm gonna show that you ain't the shit. And that you cap. I'm gonna show you. Cause you know you be talking a lot of shit though, Carlos. I just be sitting back like, yeah, all right. Carlos talk a good game. Carlos talk a good game. We gonna see. Yeah. Now, yeah. I heard the shit that KTC was talking about. Yeah. I heard a deja vu. Yeah, I heard it loud and clear. But it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter. You know. Shit. Keep the change can get this goddamn smoke too. Shit. I ain't cutting no corners with no goddamn body. Keep the change can get the goddamn smoke from old Johnny Blaze. You want the smoke? Keep the change. I give you all the smoke you need and all the smoke you want. Shit, I ain't ducking. Shit. Yeah. So shit, look. Relay the message, goddammit. Keep the change. I ain't ducking no goddamn smoke from you. Shit. Hell fuck no. I ain't ducking no goddamn smoke. I'm going to give you all the goddamn smoke. I'm going to see if you can handle it. I'm going to see if you can handle my goddamn smoke. Keep the change. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to see. We going to see. Look, deja vu. I gotta talk my shit right now because then when Keep the Chains come around, goddammit, boy, she gonna be talking cash money shit. Boy, I'll just sit back and laugh. It's like, okay, Keep the Change. Let's see. Oh man. I know, right, Deja Vu? That's most definitely going to be fun right there. We're going to have fun with it. Yeah, we're going to have fun with that one. But anyway, y'all, let me get the hell on up out of here. Salute to the chat. Appreciate y'all pulling up on me on this Sunday evening for the content. I will see y'all later. All right? Salute to the chat. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. But Johnny Blaze is up out of here.